Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking college hoops. Headed to the ACC where Clemson is traveling to Duke.
We've got a promo code. The code is SNOW for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net.
Clemson 10-4 straight up, 7-6-1 against the number. Duke is 6-5, if you can believe it, 2-9 against the spread. One of the worst teams to bet on college basketball, but they are favored in this one, -5.5. The total is 134.5. We've got Craig Trapp joining us to break this one all down. Craig, initial thoughts when it comes to Clemson and Duke?
Two struggling teams. Clemson had been pretty good, and then 4 games ago they got absolutely trounced against Virginia at home, nevertheless, and then 2 straight losses on the road. They did come back with a nice win, on Tuesday, I believe, against a pretty good Louisville team, 54-50. I think they got back to what was good for them early in the year, which was, their defense. They needed to play more possession by possession, have less possessions because they're just not as talented as some of these teams, and they need to rely on their defense. Duke, on the other hand, obviously just one win. That was the last time out against Georgia Tech. They did cover by 1 point in that one, man, but they have not been good against the spread this year. So I can't really have faith in either one of these teams because as far as betting the side, because neither team is consistent as of late. So to me, I think you have to look at the total here, Chelsea. If you put a gun to my head, I would take probably Duke in this one. I'll just say that much and lay the points because I just think Clemson struggles to score right now. And, when you struggle to score, I think Duke is a way more talented team, but there's no way I would have faith in that. So to me, I'm looking at the total here, Chelsea. I think it has to be a slow game for Clemson to even stay close in this one. So that means I like this under. I think it stays in the high 120s, low 130. Easily gets us the under here, as I think Duke gets a home win, but safer. Just being safer, let's take the under.
Yeah, I think the only way Clemson keeps it close is to slow down the tempo, kind of like they did last game. And that's when they've really had success, is when they rely heavily on that defense that was their bread and butter earlier on in the season. And when you're looking at Duke, traditionally you think 3-point shots and you think sharpshooters, but that's not been Duke this season. They're just shooting 33% from beyond the 3-point line and just 44% from the field. So it's not a Duke team that's really solid offensively, at least when it comes to sharp shooting. And so I think the under is the only way to go in this one, just because, Clemson's offense isn't great either, averaging 65 points per game. So definitely not a Gonzaga Iowa type matchup here. Yeah, 134 is pretty low, but I think that's probably the way I would be leaning on this one. Anything else you think better should be aware of?
Well, I always like unders in early games too. This is that noon Eastern Standard Time game slot. I think the early games means, maybe they have to get up early for the shoot arounds. I'm guessing these guys are getting up 7, 8 a.m. for shoot around, then breakfast. And I just don't think it lends to a high scoring affairs usually. So I like unders in the early games anyway. And then you have a Clemson team that has to play to their defense, like you said. Let's take the under.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our college hoops talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Craig Trapp. As always, Craig, thanks for joining us.